My dear brothers and sisters in Jesus Christ, today we have entered the fourth Sunday of Easter. For today's reflection, we have the Gospel of St. John, chapter 10, verses 1 to 10, where we have the heading, The Good Shepherd. But when we meditate upon this passage from 1 to 10, the Good Shepherd verse appears only in verse 11. But here Jesus is using two metaphors. One is Jesus as the gate, a second is Jesus as the shepherd. For today's reflection, we take up Jesus as the gate. Why? Because Jesus, when he is using this figure of speech, the people did not realize what he was trying to tell them. Let us know what Jesus was really trying to tell them. In order to understand this passage, we have to either go back to the previous incident or the previous chapter. According to the previous chapter, chapter 9, verse 34, when after Jesus healing the blind man, the people, the Pharisees mainly, are unable to accept the fact and they are against the person who is healed, and moreover they are trying to harm that person. The verse 34 says, they answered and said to him, you were born totally in sin, and are you trying to teach us? Then they threw him out. According to this, they threw him out means not just they are just putting him out of the synagogue, but they are putting him out of the Jewish community and making him the outcast. And therefore, the people who are outcast, thrown out, dropped out, Jesus is telling to them, when all the doors are closed, there is one door open, that is He Himself. And by doing this, Jesus is trying to tell to the people who have thrown Him out, telling them, I am the gate. Whoever enters through me will be saved and will come in and go out and find pasture. So here Jesus is making clear that person can have a free entry without any permit or without any obstacle. He is there as their protector, and not just as the protector, he is telling them they will find pasture. What is pasture? The verse 10:10 of the St. John's Gospel explains to us what is that pasture. A thief comes only to steal and slaughter and destroy. I came so that they might have life and have it more abundantly. So, by Jesus telling to them that and they will find pasture, those who come to him, means that they will have life in abundance, life in reality, and life in totality. And therefore Jesus is accusing the Pharisees of behaving like thieves and bandits. They kept people out by their legal minutes. Their legal codes eventually came to define in detail in 39 categories of work on the Sabbath day. And therefore, they are deadly against the action of Jesus. But Jesus is accusing them as thieves and robbers. Now, this can happen to the present church. We can also can be addressed as thieves and robbers, because in our educational, technical, social, religious, and health institution, and whatever institutions we are running, if we do not point out Jesus as the gate, Jesus as the way, Jesus as the entrance, and we look for our own institutions' name, fame, and glory, then we are also thieves and robbers. I would say the institution whichever runs entrance test to take children to their institution, they are all thieves and robbers, because they are not opening the door for the dropouts, the outcast, and those who are least lost and lost. And therefore, Jesus is strongly addressing the Pharisees. When Jesus is strongly addressing the Pharisees, it can be taken to ourselves also, you and me also. Let us examine whether we are also thieves and robbers. I remember one incident which had taken place years ago. One of the chief ministers of Tamil Nadu, he, while selecting the persons for an engineering college, government engineering college, he was given the forms of different people, and he took just 3 to 4 minutes to select a number of students who are to be selected for that engineering college. His chief minister's name is Kamraj. The forms were given to him. He just went through the forms and selected this form. This children, you please take to your college. Then they suddenly surprised, sir, we have spent hours and hours. Whom to select? How did you do it so fastly? He said, I went through the form, and in the form there were so many parents who have put their thumb impression. I thought these parents, children only really need education, who are uneducated, at least their children have come to the level of studying engineering college, they should be given the preference. Yes, that is the way approaching the outcast, approaching the least, approaching the dropout, and approaching the prostitutes, approaching the rag pickers, and approaching the people whom the society considers useless and worthless. And therefore, only Jesus, when that blind person was thrown out of the synagogue, it completely means, it literally means that he is considered an outcast. No more he will be allowed to come and stand equal with them, in par with them. And therefore, Jesus is telling to those people as well as those who are thrown out by them that I am there. I am there as the gate. I am there as the refuge. I am there as the protector. And therefore, the church needs today to come forward, to go into looking into this type of people and embracing them and bringing them at the status of the society and giving them opportunity to come up. Whenever we neglect certain persons, say for an example, appeared in an entrance exam and telling that person does not know ABCD also, and how will we educate? Education means to educate the uneducated and educate the illiterate. Just like we open a dispensary and hospital, whom do we treat? We treat only those who are sick. Do we treat the people who are good in health? We do not. The same way, our institutions are there to give what they do not have. When we do that one much only, then we are like Jesus, who embraces all those who are rejected by the society. And that's why in chapter 3, 8 of the book of Revelation, it is said, I know your works. Behold, I have left an open door before you, which no one can close. So Jesus is giving us an open door. He is standing as the entrance gate. He is the door and open door. And I'm leaving you an open door. An open door means opportunities for sharing and proclaiming our faith and sharing and giving our resources to those who are really in need, who are in dire need. And the person blind person was in dire need to be accepted as a human person. He was in his life earlier as a blind person. Nobody gave him recognition. Whatever they could give was to penny or just some bread for his livelihood. But Jesus changed his whole status, gave him sight, gave him new approach and accepted him as one among them, among him, as well as showed him the pasture. What is the find pasture? For finding life in abundance. Therefore, my dear brothers and sisters, today's gospel is through a metaphor, Jesus as the gate, showing us that we all need to become gate, as well as we need to, through the gate, people who come, we take to the real gate, that is Jesus, who is giving us life in abundance. Let us become truly a disciple who points Jesus as the real gate, not our institutions, not our church, not our technical or mechanical or health institutions to gain a name, but to gain a name for Jesus, who is giving us an open door, which he is clearly telling us, I know your works. In certain Bibles will say, I know your characters, I know your activities. And then when Jesus knows our characters and activities as good, he is ready to give us an open door where there are plenty of opportunities to share and proclaim the faith, to share and live the faith, and to share and give out all our resources, those who are in need. Amen.